Welcome back. I just want to get straight to the point. This is my last episode, most likely, forever. Well, maybe not forever. I may come back to the second semester in April, and I may record something, but if I'm being totally 100% transparent, this is probably the last time you're going to hear my voice on the Truman High School page or in general on the Let's Keep It Real podcast. I have thoroughly enjoyed this class and this podcast when recommended to anyone. I mean, it has been quite the experience, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. It has been great having an outlet to share my experiences. Even if nobody watches it, I just want to say I'm thankful for this class and the people that have let me express myself and my creativity. Mr. Gordon being very kind, giving us good feedback and telling us what we can improve on, and just grading us fairly. This class has been great in so many different ways, and I wish more people would take this class and would be more open to it. There's that little hump at the beginning with Intro to Journalism, but other than that, it's a pretty good class. And I'm just glad I've been able to share my story and share everything that's gone on in my life because, it has genuinely helped me just being able to talk on this podcast and keep it 100% real with you guys if I'm being honest. But without further ado, let's not make this more boring and more awkward than it should be. And let's keep it 100% real with the topic of the day. So I actually think Austin has something for me, so I'm actually going to pass it on to him because I think he actually wants to ask me something. So, is that true, Austin?
So I actually do have a topic for today. I read up on one of your illnesses that you mentioned in the past weeks about your schizoaffective disorder. And I don't know very much about it besides what Google's telling me. And I wanted to kind of get like a more personal, in-depth evaluation of how that affects your life, the outcomes, and just like your overall mood swings, like through all those living with that mental disorder.
So, for starters, it's not easy. Whenever there's like a mood swing or something like that, people would just instantly like, oh, you're being you're being an a-hole, you're being like, you're being, oh, I can't say it on this podcast, so everybody knows what I'm trying to hint at. I'm just kind of being a pest. I'm being annoying, stuff like that. Like, it's something that can be hard to deal with at times, but most of the time, it's pretty cut and dry. I wouldn't say it's too difficult. I mean, because once you're medicated, you pretty much get over it. But they can be substantially bad, and they can get bad really quick. Like, I'm talking about from 0 to 10, like, within seconds. It'll be something so little, and little things will just make you explode, like send your blood pressure through the roof. You'll just turn so red. Like, like a Hulk where he gets like really angry and he goes from 1 to 10 really quickly. Hulk smash! Like, that's kind of how it is. You just get like angry really quickly. It's almost like you have extra testosterone with this or something, or it just activates all your testosterone at the same time. You get so angry, and you get angry really quickly.
Has that like gotten you into more trouble? I feel like
Um,
just like ripping out all out of all the clothes because you're the Hulk, just exploding.
no, but I'm not the Hulk, but I wish I was. I'm only 5'4", but I have no superpowers. Superpowers are not real. But anyways, I just kind of want to say, yeah, I've gotten in trouble quite a few times, especially with my parents. I've mouthed off. I've said some mean things. When you have this type of disorder, and it's like the family like nasty like mental disorders, like some nasty stuff in there. Intrusive thoughts, impulsive behavior, mania, stuff like that. The schizophrenia, the bipolar, the mood switch, and all that stuff like that. Not being able to control your emotions, not be able to perceive emotions or take emotions well, or be able to express myself. Like, most of the time, I feel like a blank canvas if I'm being honest, because I just can't express myself. But yeah, I really do get in trouble quite a lot. I try not to. It tends to make you a little lazy, destroys your motivation where you don't want to do anything. Like, I don't know how I was going to the gym the way I was. I was demotivated every single day. It was pure grit and iron, the reason I was even doing anything. But I was able to get through it. I'm still here today, and that's kind of what I want to say about that, if that helps at all.
So like when you do do things that you're like you surprised yourself by doing, like going to the gym while going through all that. Like, how are you able to do that? Like, how are you able to put those things back and focus on your physical health, even though your mental health is just going all over control? Because what I've heard, that just sounds very like vulnerable, like kind of like if I were to see anybody else have that, they would kind of just like sit and like wash away, kind of like they wouldn't be motivated to do much with living with that. And I feel like that with a lot of people's disorders and stuff, they're necessarily living as the disorder than trying to beat the disorder. And just how are you able to do that? I feel like a lot of people with disorders should take advice from you as well.
So actually, it's pretty difficult. It's not super easy. So, uh, how can I really put this into words without making it sound really bad? It is a process. It's a long process. It's very grueling. There we go. That's the right word for it. It's very grueling, and you kind of have to sort of build yourself up so you have like longevity, like with like your mental fortitude. Like you got to build it up. There's going to be some kinks in there, some like bangs to the skull, basically. Like, you know, there's going to be some kinks and stuff that you got to figure out, some dents that you got to bang out, kind of. But you know, you'll eventually end up getting it figured out. Like with most things in life, you end up getting it figured out. And God, when it comes to people taking advice, I feel like in general, people just need to be like more open to taking help and talking about it. Because I see people with this stuff all the time, and they just don't want to talk about it, and they're absolutely miserable. Like you were talking about, miserable. I'm talking like misery, not like Missouri, misery, terrible.
Hey, I love this state.
It's all right. I feel like around here the healthcare is not that good, especially for mental health, and especially with disorders, they don't really know what they're doing. But I feel like more people should take my advice because I have real experience with it. My grandpa lived with stuff like this. I was around when I was a kid. A lot of people in my family live with stuff like this. I have a lot of real world experience, and I can tell you, whenever somebody does something terrible or something like that, and they have something mentally wrong with them, do not blame that person. That is the wrong thing to do because we cannot control it. We do not perceive emotions or perceive anything well. We cannot think. We just speak. There's no thinking. Our thoughts are like going like 1,000 miles per minute, like whoa, 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 like a tornado. It's like you're spinning around in a constant vortex. You can't grasp onto any thought, can't grasp onto anything. You just say words and you hope that they come together and they make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But people just need to be less judgmental, and they just need to like help them, and those people that have the disorders just got to help themselves. You know, it's just a process. It's grueling, very grueling, but you just got to help yourself because at the end of the day, the world's not going to stop spinning and it's not going to stop moving just because you want to stay still.
And I feel like a lot of people just do sit and just not really speak out, not really hear the words that they need to hear.
They're just like letting their lives waste away in a sense.
Yeah, like it isn't a coincidence whenever somebody's telling you to start living out of your head, start doing things to succeed. It's not a coincidence. It's literally life telling you you are meant for more than just to sit and dwell upon what life gave you. You see, life gives us so many random coincidences, so many random thoughts, disorders.
Life just throws things at you is basically what you're trying to say. But
Yeah, and it paralyzes us, and it just keeps hitting and hitting and hitting. But knowing you need to stand up, knowing you need to break away from that and go for more than just being paralyzed is what I'm trying to say.
yeah, I get what you're trying to say, but if I'm being honest, I don't have a lot more to say about what I have going on with me. So I think we're gonna call it there. It's a short episode. It's a short one, but it's the last one. But of course, I just want to say thank you guys all for listening. Whoever has listened to this podcast, God forbid it's somebody that we know, because this can be a little embarrassing at times. Like very, very, very embarrassing. But I just want to say thanks for this opportunity. Thanks for everything. And without further ado, this is my last episode of the Let's Keep It Real podcast, and I will see you guys all later.
Bye bye.